Well, what are we looking at? We're looking at an 80-year-old mandolin case. And when you open it up, I wish it was smell-o-vision. You get that smell, not the musty smell, but the smell of old dust and books and everything like that there. But even better, the thing that went into it, or goes into it, is a Martin Mandolin. A beautiful machine. 80 years old and in beautiful condition. And if I put that up, it'd be hard for anybody to say that's 80 years old because it's in such good condition. The top is made of koa wood. There's Honduran mahogany on the neck and an ebony ridge. All together, it's a beautifully made guitar. And these are selling not as good a condition as this, but for £2,000 on the internet. And this is some machine. I call it a guitar all the time, never mind that. But it's a marvelous machine. There's some cracking in the finish, very minor cracking. I'm just going to oil that. I don't have a lot to do with it. Can't remember, tortoiseshell. Yeah, tortoiseshell there and tortoiseshell there. I couldn't remember the name of it earlier. It's got a plate at the back which lifts off, which I can't lift off, which I'll have to, when I take it off, I'll let you see how it lifts off. I'm going to try to get the intonation as close as I can. The neck is perfectly straight. Some of the tuners are a little bit loose and there's some minor scratches and stuff like that to fix up. I'm not going to do too much work on that. I'm just going to get it into perfect shape as I can with new strings, get the intonation right, check it and check inside to see there's no struts damaged or anything like that there. But overall, it's a wonderful machine. It's hell of a price. I don't know what price this owner paid for it, but I do know could go for £2,500 to £3,000 just for a mandolin. I'll come back to you when I've taken the cover off. I forgot to say to you, it's a very valuable mandolin, but given the original case with it, needs a little bit of TLC, maybe a new leather handle and some rust protector on the cases. The actual clamps are not in bad condition. They just have a very small film of rust over the top, which can be fixed. But the mandolin cover slides off, as you see. A beautiful piece of wood, metal, I should say. And we have a little bit of tarnish there to clean up. And the strings obviously need to be taken off and renewed. I think the strings are a little bit heavy for it. So the owner has given me a set of strings that are lighter. I think with a mandolin like this, you just want to make sure it's taken care of to the best degree. And let's just have a look at the back. Those tuners are in great shape. Need a little bit of modifying. Look at that wood and the back. The back is beautiful. There's not a scratch on this. It really is a collector's item. But it's meant to be played. And I know it will be. There you go. Beautiful, isn't it? I'm just going to take the strings off. I've already loosened them. I'm going to cut them off because they're not going to be used again. I don't use old strings. Sometimes I would use parts of strings for sort of mini tools if I needed to prop something up or stretch something, but I have enough bits and pieces of strings lying around. A Georgie Girl just came up for a cuddle and jumped on my shoulder and just wanted to sit there. So she must have felt very... Oh, she's actually sitting beside me. Oh, you can see her. Say hello. Oh, come up. I was just about to say to you that the strings are being cut and I'm surprised she's not here having a nosy at these strings. But she is here. But I don't like you playing with strings because you might get your eye poked. So don't play with strings. Oh yeah, look at your audience, look at the camera. You think you're a prima donna, aren't you? You see yourself in the camera, don't you? Hey, up there, look. Look up there. Look. No, you can't. I can't get doing anything with you there. Right, okay. Excuse me. You are in the way, like... Right. She's gone. She's gone. I think whoever's done this has wound them round. Oh, she's back. Whoever done this has wound it round and tied it. Well, it's all very well and good, but I don't think it does any good, to be quite honest. A little tiny piece of, can you see that there? Little tiny piece of string. And the other day I felt something on my foot and I put my hand down and rubbed the carpet to see what it was. It was a piece of string and it just went straight through my finger. So now I'm a little bit more careful of picking up these strings and putting them in the... Now, in case you're wondering where Georgie is, can you see where she is? She's standing on my back. That's what she does all the time. Can you see her? Let me just turn the camera. She stands, oh, she's just come off it. She stands on my back. I don't know what you do that for, but... Right, Georgie, that's the strings off. Now, let's look. Excuse me, frets. A little bit. I'm going to polish those frets. I'm going to make sure they're level. I'm not going to try to take those dings out. I'm just going to give it a quick polish and clean up the fretboard. I'm not going to scrape the fretboard. It looks pretty good. I wonder, can you see the cracking there? The cracking on the... I wonder if you can see it. There's some cracking on the finish, but it's just age. I don't know where you can see that, but what I'm going to do is just put some oil on it. I'm going to just put some ordinary boiled linseed oil just to give the wood to have some flexibility, because the worst thing for these guitars is they dry up, or they're kept in too dry a place, and the next thing you know, the wood starts to crack. So you have to keep the wood reasonably oiled. That's the bridge, an ebony bridge. If he can't get the right action, we're going to keep this bridge. I'm not going to do anything with it because it's a perfect fit. It actually a perfect body fit. But if the action's over the years, the neck will sink and it'll go down. But if I can't get the action exactly right, we're going to buy another bridge and use it so we can keep the original bridge without any damage. And there we are again. I told you what she does. Can you see there? She is sitting on my back. So I have to play like this. She'll sit there. Luckily, she's a very light little cat, but she'll sit there. Right. Look at the frets. They're fine. I'm going to look at the tuners now. Tuners. Just still feel quite nice. Oh, she's actually... This is what she does. Because it's hot and I'm a little bit sweaty, she's actually licking the back of my neck like a mommy cat would do. Let me see if I can show you that. I don't know where you can see it, but she's actually licking the back of my neck. Can you see that? She does that. It's a very refreshing thing because she's not using the sharp of her tongue. Hopefully you can see that. And surprisingly, I think I must have been a cat. I'm a Leo. I'm a year of the tiger, and I love cats, so I think I have an affinity with them. She's still licking away at the back of my neck. I'm only putting a minor pressure on those screws because I'm just checking to see that they are tight. Because overall this mandolin's in very good condition. Oh, that was a little loose. She's still licking my neck. Well, that's a little bit loose. Right. I'll let you see if she's still there. Mind you, I don't know whether you can see in the camera she's doing it, but she's still licking my neck. Now what happens when they're loose, if you can see that, is when they're loose, this cog comes away, and this starts to grind a bit. To be buying the cheap one of these things are useless. You have to buy good ones. You have to spend a little bit more. You can get these for £7, which you've learned recently, but you have to buy better ones, because if that doesn't fit well, then the cog comes away from the screw. I'm quite enjoying her licking the back of my neck. I hope you can see that. She's cute as hell, and she's light. Right, okay, what I'm going to do now is just put a little bit of WD-40. Let me just see. As much as I love her scratching me. Right, okay, what I'm going to do is put a little bit of spray on the cotton bud and then do it like that, because I don't want to spray the actual thing directly on it, because it doesn't do you any good if you have any problems. Okay. She's still licking the back of my neck. She still is doing it. Oh, she stopped now. She's great company. It feels firm. It feels slightly loose. It's fine though. It feels firm. And that feels firm. I got a feeling this has sort of been more of an ornament sitting in the case for the years, because it's in such good condition. Right, okay. And she's back to licking the back of my neck again. We'll let you see if she's still there. And she's going to get billing on this video. I hope I caught it for the camera, because she's still at it. She's still licking the back of my neck. I'm glad she's only a little light thing. She's a runt. She is a thoroughbred. What do you call a pedigree? She's a pedigree Sphinx cat. You know the hairless cats? Well, she is actually a hairless cat, but she came out with hair. And so a very kind lady called Joan McCreary gave her to me. And she could have charged me a fortune for her, but Joan, darling Joan, gave me this little treasure, and she is a treasure. She cuddles with me at night time in my bed. She's still licking the back of my neck. There's nothing to be done to the back of this guitar. I may give it a very fine polish of oil, of linseed oil, but I'm just going to keep working away at this. I'm going to put a little bit of, oh, let me look at the tarnish. There's tarnish on this. Can you see the tarnish? Hopefully you can see the tarnish, on a little bit of tarnish. I'm going to use some, where is it? Now my ear is getting licked. Now my ear's getting, I'm going to use some, it's polish for a guitar, for a car. Oh, she's off my back now. I can stand up straight. I'm going to take a little bit of the polish for a car. It's a very, very mild abrasive. And just give it a run across. Yeah, see how it's taken off the... Can you see that with this camera? I don't know whether you can see it or not. If I can't get the black off, I'm actually going to take it down as far as I can and put some of that on with a little paintbrush. And that will turn the black a solid crust. It will never come off, because that kills the rust. It's just typical, just ordinary hammerite crust. I might even try a little bit of 2000 sandpaper on it, because the polish just didn't have enough zoom. So right, just Q-tip. A Q-tip. The Yankees call it a Q-tip. I was raised in Yankee land, so I still call it a Q-tip. Right, okay. Just the way it is. So all I do is put that on it. And if you've used this, you'll know what kind of stuff it is. It's amazing stuff. It just makes it go... just kills the rust right away and turns it a really solid black. And that's the end of the rust, and that's the end of it eating into your machine. And just leave that for a few seconds. I'm going to try to zoom in, and that's all you do. That's all I'm going to do with that. Just take it off. And you may not notice any difference whatsoever, but I'm satisfied that that's the rust. Well, it will be killed in a very short period of time. I didn't take it all off. It's sort of settling in now. So that's that rusty bit sealed. The bit that goes over it has got no damage, so I'm just going to give that a little polish. Not sure what it's made of. It doesn't have any markings on it, but it does. It has a little tiny scratch there, and it looks like it's a very solid silver coat on it. I wouldn't say it's solid silver, but it says a solid silver coat. Yep, okay. I'm going to press pause now because I need a drink. And I need to get ready now to put some, I'll clean these first, and then I'll put some, oh, why can I not remember the names of stuff? Boiled linseed oil. All right, cheers. Now, as you can see, what does it say on that? I'll look at it closer on the, I can't see what it says. But as you can see, they're tarnished. They're tarnished, and they're tarnished on the nuts. And we did a little test. The owner was here when I did a little test. And I put a little bit, if you just notice there, there's a slightly different shade to the rest of it. I put a little bit of the crust stuff on there to try to stop the tarnish from building up any further. And the owner said, go ahead and do it on the rest of it. It's just to arrest the rust. So I'm going to do all of these bits with the rust crust stuff. I'll try to get the camera so you can see. But I'm only going to do the one on camera. But what I'm going to do is put a little bit of that crust stuff on it to be careful that I don't touch the rest of the case. So this is some of that crust stuff. I've already dusted it. I didn't sand this down. I didn't want to sand it down because I don't want to damage it. I don't want to take anything off, any covering or anything like that there. I'm just putting a little layer of crust, which kills the rust and forms a crust, as it says in the thing. Look it up. And this hinge had to be repaired because it was off. The owner repaired it himself. I actually don't think the owner knows the value of the thing that he's bought. He may have paid a few pounds for it, but I don't think he knows how valuable it can be. There's a man bragging on the internet about buying one of these for £85 and he thinks he won the lottery. So, but if I know the owner, he didn't buy this for money. He just loves mandolins. So, there you go. And I'm going to do that with the rest of the mandolin, just to kill the rust off the hinges. What, this is not guitar work. This is not guitar work. This is beneath my dignity. Whoa. Yeah, Alex. Right, let that sit for a few minutes and then I'll just wipe it all off and let it sit. And then once it's done its job, I'm actually going to stop now because I'm tired and it's late at night. But once it's done its job, I'll show you a before and after. Don't think you'll see that much, but you'll see a bit. You'll see the rust had been killed. Okay, right. Goodbye. Talk to you later. Do you notice any difference? Very hard to notice a difference, but at least I know in my own mind that the rust has been arrested, if not killed. All right, let's have a little look at this and get it strung up. It's all been done. It just needs to be strung now, and the corrosion has all been sealed up. Let's have a quick run over it to make sure that it's looking the way I want it to look. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Right, okay, so I'm going to string this up, but I'm not going to video it because it's just putting strings on and bore you to tears, like love, bore you to tears. All right, come back to you. So I'm just about finished with this mandolin. It's ready to demo. I set the intonation, which is very hard to do on a short neck mandolin, and it's left the bridge sitting at a strange angle, but if you want it intonated, that's the way it has to be. Now this is the guitar case. Each of these metal bits have been treated. They haven't been wiped yet. They've been treated and they're going to be wiped in a second. But this was the worst bit. This was wrapped up in this paper. This paper here. That paper is 80 years old. I'm not sure. It's a brown paper of some type. I tried to get off in one piece, but it was rotting. But this was the worst of the lot because it was pitted and rusted in beneath it. The reason why these aren't rusted is because they're chrome plated on brass. So you've got little tiny bits of rust on the chrome on the chrome plate, which has gone over the years. So this rust stopper will protect that from going any worse. But this needed to be done. Trying to figure out a way to put a handle on it now for it. Maybe just a hemp rope wrapped round and round and round. I don't have any leather, so we'll see once. I'll come back to you once it's all polished. Right, it could be boring stuff, but it's preserving stuff. This is the case it came in, and you can see there's a very big difference. Just have to do a little bit more to the handle, but it's now a lot better looking, and it's been treated all around. The leather has been a little bit of white spirit with water diluted, and then a little bit of shoe polish in the white spirit just to get the to come up again. The rust has been treated, and as you can see there was rusty inside. It's been treated, and that's been treated. Everything's been treated. I haven't figured out what to do with the handle yet. And inside it's been, after it was treated with white spirits and stuff like that, blah blah blah, it was wiped down and cleaned and washed again with a little bit of water, and then I put some leather oil on it just to preserve it and give it some subtlety. Subtlety, not subtlety, what? Make it subtle. Subtle? Yeah, anyway. Inside, the rust was coming through here and here from the stand. There's things, I treated those as well. The little catches were on it were rusted, so I put some rust inhibitor on them. But I had some pads because that's exactly where, and I put the mandolin in it. The mandolin would get damaged on the back if it was sitting on those, so it now is, the neck's not so bad, but now it's sitting on the pads rather than on those rusty screw nails. The mandolin itself now needs to be played, but that's the case, sort of. It looks 100 times better than when it came in, which is good. It has a broken hinge over here, which, can you see it? Let me just see if I brightened it up there. But the hinge is very fragile and it can't be replaced unless it finds one identical. So other than that, it's ready to play the demo. Mandolin you've already seen. Okay, bye. Oh, get in the tune there. And I didn't mention that I put a little bit of super glue on the tears to stop. There's several little tears here and there and everywhere, and I put a little bit of super glue on and bedded them down so that they would not go any further. That wouldn't bed down, but it's super glued so it doesn't go any further. Well, it'll wear away eventually.